Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Software Inc. I certainly hope you're having a brilliant day, a fantastic day, wherever you happen to be, because I'm really excited. It's been quite a long time since I last played Software Inc. I couldn't tell you exactly when that time was, but it's been a while, and there have been some changes since I last played this. First and foremost, they have animals roaming around the neighborhood, which is kind of cool. They've also got some new map stuff going on as well, such as this, which is one of the new starting maps. And if you're curious, I'm playing Alpha 11. I'm playing the testing branch of Alpha 11. And that right there, well, that is me. And I think I'm heading around to that park bench because there's not a whole lot else going on inside of the tiny little room that I have. This right here is everything that I own right now. It's not a whole lot, but it's mine, and that's what's important. I'm also going to pause the game because we're spending money as we sit here doing nothing, and I feel like it's been so long since I've played Software Inc. that I should probably explain what Software Inc. is about. So it is a management game where you are tasked with building a software production company. If I go down to this tab down here, I can click Develop Software, and you can see that we have a lot going on. You don't need to understand what all of this means right now. I still don't understand what a lot of this means because it's been so long since I've played the game that honestly, I am relearning everything about it. It used to be really easy to beat Software Inc. It doesn't seem to be that anymore, which is a good thing. It's just that I used to feel quite good at this game, and, well, I don't anymore. But what you're looking at here is essentially a bunch of options that I can use, in this case, to make an operating system. If we go to this tab over here, I can change it to a 2D editor, and all the options will change. And what I can do is click all of these and essentially add things to the 2D editor. And you can see on the left side over here just how long it's going to take to make something like that. So if I add everything, and if I just have me, which at the minute I make up the core team of developers, programmers, designers, etc., etc. I'm just one person. It would take me approximately 7 years to make a 2D editor with all of these features. So we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. Same with things like an audio tool or a game or office software or antivirus. Now, antivirus is an interesting one. Again, we're not going to make this, but it's an interesting one because you can throw one or two things in there and it just requires or recommends 2 designers, 2 programmers. So I could make some kind of antivirus type software that has system scanning and file encryption in less than a year. And honestly, might not be a terrible idea to do that at some point, but I'm not going to do it yet because we don't even have any furniture. So let's do that. Let's go into build mode. And let's see what exactly we can do here, because we have some options. We have a bunch of options, a bunch of things that we can place to build a nice office here. But I'm going to sort by room, as we are already doing. And I want to sort by, let's see here, this tab, office. And I want to get myself a desk, something nice and simple. This right here, it can just go right at the, I think right in the corner. Should be totally fine. We're going to need to get ourselves a computer. It's going to be an old computer, and it can go there. And ourselves a nice executive chair, I reckon. So that's everything that we need, essentially. My character, right here, doesn't really have any needs. He doesn't need to eat, to my knowledge. He doesn't really need to do much. But as we grow, and as we start hiring more people, they're going to need things. So at some point, we're maybe going to want to throw in something like a vending machine or a mini fridge. We're probably going to want an espresso machine. And obviously, we're going to want things like lights and all that in here as well, which to be honest, I do already want. So let's throw a clock on the wall there. I think we can actually bring the walls up a little bit. So we have a clock there, which says core dumping clocks. I think the core dumping's the developer. We also have, I think that's ventilation to cool the room a little bit should it get really warm. But what I'd also like to do is get a painting and throw it there. We don't need to do that, but we can make the room a little bit more pleasant to be in. And I guess we could also go ahead and throw, let's see. I guess we're gonna want some kind of lamp, aren't we? So let's do a desk lamp just to brighten up that corner. And let's go ahead and let's do some ceiling lamps, I guess. So we'll do 1 and 2, just to make sure the room's nice and bright. We can actually toggle those off so that we're not gonna see them all the time, which is a good thing to do, I reckon. And honestly, that's kind of all we need right now, because the start of the game is very different to what I remember it being. So what we need to do is, first off, run the simulation. So I'm going to go into my desk right there, as you can see, and I'm going to pause again, which is weird. I know I'm pausing a lot, I'm unpausing a lot, but it'll all make sense. So something that's always been in Software Inc. for as long as I can remember is this down here, contract work. And what contract work is essentially a way to make some money and build a reputation without making my own software. So if we go to this tab, we can manage employees. We have me, and right now I'm set to do essentially everything. I am a designer, a programmer, an artist, and I work in service. Service includes things like marketing and post-launch support for software, so that's not something we need to worry about. But we can see down here my base skill is pretty high in everything. I've got level 3 system design and system programming, level 2 2D design, programming and artistry, same with audio. So that's pretty good. In fact, that's really good. And that's really important, because if we have a little look here, for game assets, it features 2D art. So we need to be able to do art in a reasonable way to get this done in a reasonable amount of time, which in this case is 1 month. For something like a logistics application, it is essentially going to be more focused on the programming side, and we can see what it needs. It says it recommends a single designer and a single programmer, where this one recommends a single designer and a single artist. So what I want to do is I'm going to take this logistics application. In fact, let's sort by, so it's going to be the most profitable. We're going to accept that work, and I'm just going to speed the game up, because what you'll see is I get through it pretty quickly and I start iterating on it. So if we iterate on that maybe 2 times, and then we hit develop, this blue line is the bare minimum that we need to do, but I have the time in the day to pretty much max this out. So let's get our code up to 100%, promote it into beta. We'll fix a couple of bugs, and let's get it to 5 and finish, and there we go. Contract fulfilled for a net worth of $6,120 with outstanding quality. We've just made some money. And we've boosted our reputation. Now, what I want to do, and what's going to be really different from every other time I've played Software Inc., is I want to do contract work for a while. And the reason I want to do that is we can have a look at finances here. We're currently spending, obviously we've spent $2,390 on construction, so that's for the furniture. But we're currently spending $360 on bills. And we're going to have an electricity bill that comes in next month as well. We'll actually speed things up and you'll see, once my guy goes home there, we now have an electricity bill. So we're spending $375 a month on rent and electricity combined. So what we can do is go into this tab, insurance and savings. And I can throw, let's say, $44,000 into a savings account that's going to generate interest. And we'll have a look at what that does for me in just a second, because we need to grab another contract here. Let's go for logistics. And you know what? We'll do 2. I reckon we probably have the skill to do 2 of these. We absolutely do. So develop, and we'll just let these go. We finish work at about 3:45, so as long as these are, I mean, they're already ready to go, so we're kind of sorted there. So let's just promote and finish. They're both outstanding quality. We didn't fix any bugs, but that's okay. But anyway, on to the next day. We made money last month. If we have a look at finances, we're now getting $73 every month in interest on what we just put into the savings account. So what we can do, and what I'm gonna do, is put enough money in savings so that the bills are paid by interest, so that we aren't charged anything to stay here, essentially. That way, my one guy can sit and develop some software, which will probably be an antivirus, indefinitely. He can get it to outstanding quality or do whatever he needs to do. That's the plan. So let's grab 2 logistics applications. It seems we can do 2 of these at once, which is fantastic news. And that'll be plenty more money, which can be thrown in. In fact, honestly, let's promote and finish, because inadequate quality isn't ideal, but it still gets us a lot of money. And I think what we could probably do is get another contract today for an embedded system, and we might be able to get through that before the day's over. Yeah, we totally can. So we can get through a lot in a single day. So fix a bug, fix 3 bugs, finish it, outstanding quality. There we go. 50,000. That's not bad. That is not bad. And then what we can do is go back to here and say, let's put, 39,000 into there. We have $83,000 sitting in this particular account, and it releases next year. So we can't actually withdraw all of that money just yet. That's not a thing we can do. But we can withdraw 39,000, which is nice. I think we just put that in there. The point is, we can get interest money, eventually pay off our bills with interest money, and then eventually just develop something. And like I said, I think it would probably end up being antivirus, and it would probably be pretty simple. Although, I mean, if we were to do interface, a bit of file encryption, malware alerts, about a year. Expected interest is only 27%, as we can see. So that's market interest right there. We can boost that by doing anti-theft and by doing application scanner. If we were to take out interface, still pretty good. So 63% is not bad. So we could probably manage this. Recommended designers 2, programmers 3, but no artists. I mean, I don't have that, but I could probably do that. I could probably make that work. The other interesting thing with this is we can actually go into advanced mode. And again, we're not going to develop this yet, but I'll show you how it works. In fact, what I'll do is let me grab a really expensive embedded system. Let's try it. We'll see if we can do that. So we'll let that kind of run quietly in the background. But so what I can do is I can use this advanced mode, and we can go to this framework option, which is essentially a way to boost the speed at which we can develop stuff. So if we were to use, for example, let's say Field 3000 as the framework for some antivirus, anything highlighted in blue will be boosted by the fact that the framework is built around that. So something that may have once taken over a year will just take about a year, because the framework, as you can see, I mean, approximately 2 years, fair enough, but the framework is built to support that kind of stuff. So the reason the framework thing's interesting is because I could build my own framework, which will really slow things down, but I can build that framework to then build a franchise. I can build a framework to build antivirus software off of. So this first one might take approximately 2 years. If I add everything in, approximately 3 years. But the next one wouldn't take that long. And that's kind of the interesting thing. And I can advance this if I really want to, so that the tech level is 77 and 71 respectively for those. But that's, again, that's kind of a thing we can do there. We can advance future ones, we can make them more interesting, make them all develop faster, etc., etc. So, that's kind of what we can do. We'll just, framework, we'll just call it for a second. We're not developing this, but I just want to show you the potential here and how much stuff has changed. So we then pick our 2D editor for this. We want to look at, tech level, which is 1971 for this. It released in 76. So we'll go for this, for example. The operating systems it runs on, we can essentially run it on everything. If we look at most recent releases, we have these guys, so we throw those in there. So we have 2.1 million potential customers with an expected interest of 92%. We can go to the next one. We can then say what the market targeting is going to be. Are we targeting monitoring? Are we targeting passive protection? Are we looking for a mix? Because if we look for a mix, our expected interest is now 100%. Also, develop that because it was starting to iterate. So we can do all of that. We can go to the next page. We get a summary. And then on top of all of that, it says it's going to take 3 years. Again, we're not actually developing this right now. I'm just sort of showing you. We can then go and get it published by someone else. We could say we need a bit of funding. And the publisher would give us $111,000. We can have the publisher handle marketing, handle printing for the physical copies. We could make it exclusive to their operating system and they'll take a little bit less in royalties, and we could let them control the release date and they'll take even less. We hit OK, suddenly Stab Industries would be publishing the antivirus software that we make and taking control of things like marketing and printing, the exclusivity, etc., etc. That is all stuff that we can do to make software and to hopefully make money. But it's a process. It takes a while. It does. It's not as easy as it used to be. And if you remember old Software Inc., if you remember my old series, you'll remember it was, wrong button. You'll remember it was really easy to make money. It's really not anymore. It's really, really not. It's actually quite difficult. So that's, I'm nervous is what I'm getting at. I'm quite nervous about playing Software Inc. at the moment because I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to be anything close to successful. But I'm excited to find out. So let's grab these 2 contracts and let's go ahead and get them, you know, through here because we can do these really easily. And again, we just have to reach that minimum there and then finish them, outstanding quality on both of them. We could go and we could grab, say these 2 contracts if we really wanted to. And again, we can get through them really, really quickly. We can make a good amount of money on both. Promote, finish, outstanding. There we go. So 4 contracts done in a single day. Not bad at all. We can go ahead and we can say, let's put, I don't know, 40,000 into the savings account, which is beautiful. And then we can have a little look here and we can see, I mean, $138 on interest alone at the moment. So again, the goal here is to get the interest up to the level of the bills so that we can go ahead and essentially have no running costs, basically. Now, what I also want to do is go ahead and call a cleaning person so that they can go ahead and clean up the floor a little bit. Let me pause for a second because there's a couple of other things you might have noticed in there. We have things like security. You can get robbed. That's a thing that can happen. You can get robbed. And if you don't know, you can also hire couriers to pick up products that you print because you can print your own products. You can buy printers and set up warehouses for it if you want to. You can hire a cook who will work in your kitchens and serve food to canteens. Receptionists so that people who come to you with deals can talk to someone and sort of present the deal. You can hire maintenance, cleaning, IT support. Maintenance will fix things, cleaning will clean things, IT support will fix computers, and essentially that's all people you can hire. You can also temporarily bring in these people to do whatever, but essentially there's a lot you can do. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot of things, a lot of options in there, and a lot of stuff that's now late game Software Inc. that I didn't really realize was late game when I played this game a long time ago. Anyway, let's grab 2 logistics applications. Let's speed up the game a little bit. Develop, and let's just push these through at, you know, the bare minimum so that we get a bit of cash there. Both inadequate, but that is the Nerdrosoft promise, which, by the way, I've completely forgotten to mention the name of the company is Nerdrosoft. You might remember that name from the old Software Inc. series that we used to do. So that's the old company name there. Let's go ahead and do 3 embedded systems. because I'm pretty sure, yeah, we can totally do those in a timely manner. So we'll get those developed and promote you, and then promote you, and promote you, and then finish, and finish, and finish. There we go. So a good bit of money once again coming in. And if we have a look at finances, we're up to 204. So we can go ahead and dump a solid 40,000 in here again. And we're getting closer. We are getting closer and closer every time. Now, the thing we could do is we could hire another person to work with us on these contracts if we really wanted to. I don't think we need to, though. I feel like I'm getting enough of them done. So let's just grab these. Let's not do that one. Let's do these two. Because art is always something that I'm a little slower with in this game. I say I am. I've just noticed art takes a little bit more time than things like just programming, essentially. So I'd be wary of going too crazy on art contracts, but we'll be all right. The only problem... Oh, wow. No, hold on. We have... Wow, we do have a lot more of these. Okay, so logistics application 1 month at 20,000 for it. Let's take it and see if we can do it. Oh, yeah, no problem. Although we are a bit slower at that 2D design. But anyway, we're actually, you know what? The art's not bad. It's that 2D programming that seems to be the issue. Although it looks like we'll do the bare minimum this month. So let's promote it right away and finish it. Inadequate quality, but 11,000 up front. Not bad. So not bad at all. Let's have a look at finance. We're up to 271. So essentially 105. We're spending $105 every month. That's what we're losing. If I wasn't to do anything, that's what we would lose in any given month, which not a lot of money at all, to be honest. It's also really tempting, I'll be honest, to take this 4-month logistic application because the payout is pretty good. So let's take it. We have a little bit of money to sit through. Like, we have enough money, I think, to carry us for a bit. We got 24,000 up front for this anyway. And we're kind of already done with the first iteration. So what we'll do is we'll spend this first month getting probably 2 iterations done, which is another change, by the way. I don't know if I drew attention to this, but you don't seem to overdevelop anymore, which is a thing you used to be able to do. You would finish the design phase of a game or a piece of software, and then all the stats would start going backwards and saying, oh, there's a cat there. Hello. That's another. By the way, these things are like amazingly horrific. Look, ooh, look at that guy. Look at him. He's a right chunker. He's a right chunker. Look at him. Look at him. He's seen some things. He has seen some things. Oh my God. Yeah. So that is a thing. Essentially, I think it's kind of cool that you can you just iterate on things now. You don't strictly overdevelop them. I think that's kind of a nice change, because overdevelopment was always a weird concept to me. Also, I'm curious, how much money did we lose? 104. Like I said, we are very, very close to being able to just sort of run things off of interest, which is fantastic. We're also very close to having this thing done, which we might be able to do this month. It's looking more likely to be next month, but that's all right. Actually, I think it will. Yeah, it'll be next month. That's all right. We're still getting it done like a month early, so let's promote it. Let's spend the day fixing some bugs to try and bring the quality of life up a little bit. And let's see if we can get to 20 bugs fixed. We totally can. Finish it. And it's inadequate, but we got $64,000. So let's fire. We've got 92. Let's put 72,000 into savings, and let's run into the next month, which will be March of 1981. Finances 458 from interest. We are now making money by doing nothing. Just having money in the savings account, we're making money. So essentially what that means is we can make some software. Let's cancel publishing deals. Let's do all that stuff. Let's just make a piece of antivirus software. Let's make something quite basic. I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, Let's do file encryption and maybe an application scanner or file scanner. Let's do file scanner. Let's just do that. That's about a year. Let's just do a file scanner. So it's encryption and it's a scanner. It's like WinRAR, right? So let's do nerd zipper. That's great. What are we gonna call this? Nerd. What would you put? What do you put things in to hide them? Like you can to conceal it. Like you zip a folder to make it smaller. Nerd it's like a no. What do you put things into? Like you hide the hole in the hole? Nerd hole? No. This is the problem with this game. I don't know. Nerdrosoft file zipper. I don't know. Zipper. Let's call it Zipper. Zippy. We'll call it Zippy. Name it after our mascot, Zippy. The floating zipper that'll pop up on your screen to say, "Do you need help?" Sure, Zippy. That's what we'll call. That's what we're calling it. Let's use an existing framework so that I don't have to make my own. We can use Field Fit Engine, which actually, I could throw a couple of things in there if I really wanted to. Why not let your computer know when it's been stolen? I might do some interface stuff. Malware alerts, hacking alerts. Yeah, let's do both of those. It pushes up to 55% interest. We can make this $30. It's an original IP. And it's going to be using, most recent release is Image Frames 2. And it's going to run on those 3 operating systems with a consumer reach of 2.2 million. We can look into... Oh, wow. There's not... Let's go this way a little bit. So, we're trying to get like a good market reach here. It looks like 55 is going to be about as good as we can get. So let's go for 55. We're kind of market satisfaction. I don't know. 55% is probably as good as that's going to get. It does recommend 4 programmers, which is a bit worrying. Let's look for a publisher to handle marketing and printing. I don't mind giving 26% of royalties. That's okay. Funding wise, we don't need it. So Stab Industries is going to publish. That should be fine. Let's develop it. So we're developing Zippy. Now the interesting thing, like I said, we should be in a spot where we're just making money off of interest. So let's take a little look at what happens right here. So we did lose money. Why did we lose money? We lost money from licenses because we had to obviously license some software. So let's do an embedded system just to make some of that back. And we're going to use this little button here on the right to prioritize that over Zippy so that that gets done a lot quicker and it gets focused on so that we can get it done this month. So we'll promote it. We'll fix 3 bugs and it's finished. There we go. So Zippy is going ahead. We're going to let it just get iterated a couple of times, I think, so that we can hopefully make it as good as it can possibly be. And if we can do that, then I think we're in a pretty solid spot. Because I think we can make Zippy the flagship product for Nerdrosoft. That's the goal here. So we'll just iterate a couple of times. We did lose money again. Where did that go? Licenses. Are we just perpetually losing license money? We might be. We might actually need to do some contract work to make sure that the licenses get paid off in this whole thing as well. So let's do that. Let's just go ahead and do... Our computer's getting very slow. That's okay. So develop. Let's focus on some license work, I guess. Which is interestingly running a bit slower because I guess we're working on Zippy. So prioritize you, promote, and finish. There we go. This one's due this month. That's okay. Promote and finish. So that's a bit of money there as well. Let's grab another thing for game assets, and we'll really prioritize it, which should get done quickly because it's a priority 10. So yeah, that's going really, really quickly there. I know it's a little bit hard to see on the green background, but that's fine. We're almost done with it. There we go. And finish. There we go. So good little bit of money coming in there. Let's transfer, let's say 35,000 into savings. And let's grab ourselves another contract for game assets. The problem is, the better I get at these contracts, the more I get offered higher tier contracts, and I'm not going to be able to do those higher tier contracts in the time that I'd like to be able to do them in. So we're going to be we're going to be sort of dancing around those a little bit and trying to not do the super high tier ones. But there we go. Finish that. Inadequate quality. That's the Nerdresoft promise. And we can probably spend a little bit of time just focusing on Zippy there, which honestly, we might not get through another iteration. Although, interestingly, each iteration positively impacts potential quality and how quickly bugs appear. So that's nice. Let's have a little look. So we're getting 521 here. So we're losing 612 every month. That's a bit rough. I don't think we're going to get another iteration out of this, honestly. I think, yeah, it's going to take way too long. Let's move it into development. Interestingly, it says here, you know, it's reached alpha. It's not been marketed. That's very true. It hasn't been. And also is taking a long time. I guess it did say it needed 4 programmers. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's call cleaning, IT support, and maintenance just to make sure everything's working. And I think we're going to need to hire some people. I think to get Zippy finished, because if we have a look, it recommends 4 programmers, doesn't it? We're not going to have 4 programmers, but I might hire 1 more. So let's do that, and let's see if we can maybe get Zippy out the door before the end of, let's aim for the middle of 1983. I think we could do that quite nicely and have it be super high quality too.